Wendy Macpherson. I'm Jan Schmidt, along with Kathy Doran-Lizzie, and we have a special guest in the booth, Barb Chrisman, the co-owner of Storm Products. And Barb, you have a special announcement you want to make.
Yes, as you know, in the light of the devastating events of last week, Storm is going to do its part to strike out terrorism. As Janice stated, for every strike bowled on tonight's telecast, $100 will be donated by Storm to the American Red Cross's Relief Fund.
That's a wonderful contribution, and just with everything everyone's been through, what a great way. We're so glad to have you as a sponsor this week.
It's truly heartfelt, and I really I think it's a great way of the ladies to be able to be involved and do their part to be Americans and keep going on with going on.
And it was interesting to watch in that first match, Barb and Kathy, as the ladies were out of the match because Leanne Barrette had it secured. Well, take a look quick at Wendy's first shot, another strike.
Right.
The other athletes, even though they were out of the competition, were continuing to attempt to strike just to earn that $100 for the American Red Cross Relief Fund.
Super.
So that's just tremendous. Both ladies starting with a strike there. Some big games for Wendy, Kathy. That was her strength.
Yeah, I crossed with her this week, and she did. She had quite a few 4 or 5 270 games. But her weakness was winning matches. She qualified second, but only won 4 matches on Wednesday out of 12 games.
That was pretty incredible, and I took a look. It was due to the fact the first day, her opponents averaged 191 against her, and the second day, they averaged 226 against her, so she didn't have much opportunity to win.
Now, bonus pins are huge. If you can win those games, you'll be in the top 10, no doubt about it.
Wendy leaving the 4-7. Barb, it's really appropriate, actually, that you're in the booth with us tonight, because your company, Storm Products, is kind of the example of the American way. How did it get started?
It truly is, Jan, the American dream come true. We started with very humble roots, and we started making bowling ball cleaner. It was the first on-site bowling ball cleaner, and it was quite an event, because we would actually make this bowling ball cleaner in our garage, and we had a home office, and we lived in a little 900 square foot home, and we've grown to making bowling balls. What a dream.
It sure is. In fact, as Leanne continues to strike again, just like last match, you told me a story about how you at one point put the phone down in your lap and pretended you were on hold because you didn't have a hold button, and then
oh geez, our distributors are probably going to just die, but that's exactly what happened. One day I didn't even have a hold button. I put the phone down in my lap, and I'd pretend to go out and check stock, and I'd get back on the phone and say, oh yes, as a matter of fact, we do have 50 dozen. We'll be happy to send that to you. And I would get the kids out of the school, and we'd go out in the garage and package ball cleaner.
We're getting a few secrets here. Leanne Barrette in the 3rd inch again, striking. Now,
good.
Okay, ball cleaner, kind of backwards, ball cleaner first, then bowling balls. But how did you get over to bowling balls?
We had a gentleman that approached us that had experience from another company, and he was no longer employed by them, and he just came to us and said, let me make you Rich Badgerwalt's streams. And I went, oh yeah, right. So we started making bowling balls in a bucket in a 2,000 square foot facility. And our first 6 months, we made 700 balls.
See, I get goosebumps from that, especially at this time, because that's what America is. And
it is perseverance, and just keep trying, and just nobody can hold you back.
Speaking of perseverance, it took that this week. Some low scores again, 195 to cash, 199 to make match play. At least we had a couple of high games, 289. Kathy, do you have a 280 in there or anything?
No, unfortunately I didn't, but I bowled pretty well. I had a great cross with Wendy, and even Wendy said she took advantage of the good pairs. On the good pair, she shot a 270 or a 280, and on the bad pair, she just hung in there. As you can see here, she gets it off her hand nice and clean, but like we said, the girls were saying the conditioner is a little tighter this week. It skids a little too far. She leaves the 2-8.
And she steps up to shoot the spare. Barb, what has Storm evolved into today?
Well, as I said, we started in the first 6 months to only making 700 bowling balls, and currently last year we made over 300,000. And we're selling them all over the world, and it's amazing. It truly is. Sometimes I have to pinch myself, because what more can I say is that we are all bowlers, and we make bowling balls, and we make products that, that make people happy.
Leanne Barrette with 3 strikes. If she continues to strike, we'll all be pinching ourselves. But Leanne Barrette thought it was an instinctive week for her, especially on ball choices.
Well, you know, I bring in certain balls every day from the truck, and I just kind of fish around in the back to say, what am I going to bring in today? And it just so worked out that each day I was just looking around for things, and each day that the last 2 that I brought in seemed to be the ones that worked the best that day.
Leanne working on 4 strikes, obviously working well now for her choices. Barb, you have a huge staff out here of women, and it's so wonderful for the ladies. I will correct something I said last match. I said that Liz Johnson was on your staff. She's not. She's throwing your equipment and loves to throw your equipment. Maybe someday she will be on your staff. But
Maybe.
I will correct that. As Leanne with the front 5 again, same as the first match. Just a tremendous start, going for that $50,000 bonus from Travelodge Hotels. How many staff members do you have out here?
Oh my goodness, put me. I'm not sure.
Kathy will tell you.
There's Kathy.
Kathy's on your staff. Kathy, Dora, and Lizzie.
Kathy, Dora, and Lizzie.
We have Anne Marie Dugan working in our truck, and Kendra Gaines. I was going to say Cameron, but she's another married lady. Kendra Gaines. Tiffany Stambro.
Carol Norman. Carol Storm Norman.
Carol Storm and Norman.
And, geez, wouldn't that be terrible if we forget somebody?
We won't forget anybody.
Big staff and a very
Brenda
talented.
Norman.
Brenda Norman.
Brenda
I
Norman.
knew
See,
there was
she's so
somebody
tiny.
else.
We overlooked her.
Look at those donations, up to $2,500, and ordinarily we would be going to break, but we're going to stay with you because we want to be able to show you a 300 should it happen. And Leanne Barrette on the front 5, we're going to stay with you and hopefully bring you that 300 in its entirety. Wendy Macpherson with a 9 count.